Hey guys, welcome to Offshoot Comics Off Topic. We're host Kirby Kid,
And Black Superman.
also known as David Clark,
And Walter Bryant.
and today we're doing a review full of spoilers of Justice League.
Yeah, normally we don't tell you that it's full of spoilers until after we start saying stuff, and then we go, hey, by the way, spoilers. So,
You're
good job,
welcome.
David.
Yeah.
All right, then.
We've given you guys exactly a week to have seen this movie. We have seen it each twice.
Yep.
And I'm going to lead off with this. I have heard people saying they're disappointed, that they didn't like it. I liked it. I hate Superman. I was looking for a reason to hate this movie. Didn't find it.
Yeah, I love Superman. I love this movie. I have some friends who told me that they weren't a fan of Superman before they saw this movie. And then having seen this movie, they understand, they may not be a fan of Superman, but now they can at least understand why people like Superman, if this is what Superman is supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, cool. I liked how this movie was sort of laid out. And I mean, while it did have a little bit of amnesia about Batman versus Superman,
yeah,
and we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah,
I like how this movie was laid out.
Yeah. So I mean, talking about amnesia, one of the big things that I had a problem with was when Superman held Batman and said, "Do you bleed?" Now, had the second half of BVS never happened, it would have made sense. But when Superman and Batman last saw each other, they were on the same side. Batman had just saved Superman's mother. They were fighting each other, and Superman decided to sacrifice himself to save humanity. Mm-hmm. Which means, and if his brain does not degenerate because of his Kryptonian cells,
which Batman said,
which he said, it makes no sense that he's not able to remember the last hour or 2 or 3 of his life. That's a big chunk of time to be gone. Now, I'm hoping, because I know they cut out an hour of the movie, I'm hoping they say that the mother box screwed with him. Because otherwise, that whole scene does not make sense.
But see, that's the thing. Because the way that it was laid out, you can tell he remembers what happened. He might not. He apparently doesn't remember Doomsday. But the last thing he remembers is fighting Batman. And Batman saying, "Do you bleed?" Mm-hmm. That didn't happen in that fight. That happened like a few days before that fight. When Superman told Batman to not be Batman anymore, and then Batman said, "Tell me, do you bleed?" That was not a thing that happened during the fight. So that wasn't even something that should have been triggered in his mind when he saw Batman.
Right. But it was an awesome scene, though. Because I remember when I was watching it in the theater, and he went, "Tell me, do you bleed?" He was like, "Oh snap! He remembers that." like people are like, Batman, he got you. He remembers that. It was a cool scene, and I get that they just wanted to probably just get that in there.
They wanted to give him his mojo back. Yeah. I mean, really, honestly, because when the way Batman took him down in Batman versus Superman, it sort of shouldn't have happened that way.
It should have, because
it really should.
Batman is perfect.
No, it shouldn't have happened that way, because think about that. Think about how Batman got Superman down in the first place. Okay, you hit him with kryptonite the first time. Mm-hmm. Cool, I get it. He didn't know what the heck it was. That second kryptonite missile that hit him in the face should never have happened. And that Batman versus Superman, when you look at Justice League shows you why it shouldn't have happened. Barry is trying to run around Superman, and Superman looks at him and then tracks him while he's inside the speed force.
Which must have been
scary,
the most terrifying thing ever. But here's the thing, though. I think with BVS, I think it was the successive uses of kryptonite that was slowing him down each time. And plus, Superman had never fought someone like Batman before. He always fought someone who was like, "Look at me, I'm right here in front of you, and I'm going to run at you with the same moves you have."
Truthfully, he's only had like 2 fights.
Yeah. So he's not very experienced.
Yeah.
That's why he did so well against Steppenwolf. He's just like, "I have an axe and I'm right here with no thought." Batman's like, "I have already played out this entire fight 85 million ways, and I know how you're going to react, and you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do when I tell you to do it, and that's how the fight's going to go." See, he's never had that fight, which means if Brainiac attacked today, they'd be done.
But not anymore, because now
he's got Batman on the side.
Now he and Batman are buds,
right?
So because
best friends.
Yeah, look. When dude buys your mom a house.
Oh, okay. Dude, I love that scene at the end where he's like, "How'd you get the house back from the bank?" I bought the bank. Now
It's kind of a thing I do. Yeah.
Now you would say, why not just buy the house back? Nah, that's not baller enough. All right, this is a Bruce Wayne move. He got to buy the entire chain of operation around this thing. You know, so I thought that was cool, and I'm glad that they're friends now. Because let's be honest, as much as we like to argue Batman versus Superman, no one's ever happy when they're fighting.
No, really, not. Yeah.
Like, it's about winning an argument, but you're not happy because they're supposed to be bros and occasionally have Wonder Woman with them. That's how it's supposed to go.
Now,
everyone outside of those three is superfluous.
And you know what? To be perfectly honest, I think that maybe, and this is the only real problem I have with Justice League, I think Justice League probably should have either been the Trinity, or it should have been World's Finest. And then they should have introduced the other characters and then done Justice League after that. Because you've already introduced those three. So, like, giving them their own thing.
I would say that if this was 6 years ago. But they have to catch up with Marvel. And there will be time for World's Finest.
Mm-hmm.
There will be time. There ain't much time left because Affleck can't keep he can't keep doing it forever. But, you know, I think there will be time for World's Finest. There will be time for Trinity. You know, so I think they're going to do that. But plus, they already know. You don't need setup for these guys. The League doesn't need setup.
It's true. It's true.
Ant-Man needs setup.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy
They need all... Doctor Strange needs all the setup you can give him. You don't need setup for the League. So there's like... Let's just get into it. You know.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, even Avengers needed some setup because... and I know people say that the Avengers is made up of all the B-team characters and the Hulk.
All right.
But like... My entire life, I've loved those characters. Captain America has always been one of my favorite superheroes. Iron Man used to be one of my favorite superheroes, and then the 90s showed up, and he decided to take over the planet, and they had to go get a teenager to take his place. But you know, with like Justice League, I've always loved those characters. I've always loved everything about them, and like the Justice League is made up of the A characters. They've always been the A characters, and Aquaman.
Which is why like when it comes to just actual quality, the League is a better team than the Avengers because it's not the leftovers, it's not the maybe we're strong. No, it's literally the world's best superheroes, the best they have to offer, and they're an actual team.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Avengers, part of the I guess the fun of the Avengers is that even though their battle cry is assemble, they're always taking themselves apart. The League only does that when Batman is involved. But other than that, they're doing pretty good. But they're a much better team, and we almost got all seven.
Technically got all seven.
Technically, the Ring of Hal Jordan was in the movie.
It might have been the Ring of Hal Jordan. We're not really sure because that was an ancient time.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was the Lantern who was in charge of that sector. And then it went eventually to Abin Sur, then eventually to Hal Jordan, who will eventually ruin everything.
But then again, no, it could have been Guy Gardner's ring.
No, it couldn't have. No, it couldn't have. You stop it with that blasphemy right now.
It could have been Jon Stewart's ring. It could have been the ring that belongs to Baz.
I don't think it would be Jon Stewart's ring because Jon Stewart's honor guard. I don't think his ring would have been like. Aren't there rings specifically made for them?
Well, the ring chooses them.
But I thought for honor guard it was different though.
No, I'm pretty sure his ring chose him in the 70s, and then now he's honor guard. Now he's got a ring made for him.
He was the backup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I don't. That was probably Hal's ring. That's why I got all close to the screen, like, look at this. You know. But that was cool to see the Lantern in there. Not gonna lie, I almost cried. I saw that.
And that was definitely Zeus and not Shazam.
Yeah. No, I was hoping it'd be Shazam, but it was clearly Zeus because Shazam is not 35 million feet tall. But no, I liked it. I understand why they didn't put Manhunter in there because I know they think most regular people are going to see Manhunter and Superman as fulfilling the same roles, even though they clearly don't. But whatever. I was hoping they would have involved a seventh though. I really wanted it to be a seventh because It just felt weird.
Well, like I've read a bunch of leaks that say that the original script, the Snyder script actually had Green Lantern showing up at the end of that battle. So, but
Like,
then
what I miss?
but also at the end of that battle, when the Green Lantern shows up, so does Darkseid. So they cut all of that.
That would have been bad. That would have been bad.
Well, that would be the reason why they showed up in the first place.
Yeah, they are not ready for Darkseid.
It's like Green Lantern was supposed to show up and go like, yeah, I know you guys think you won when you beat Steppenwolf, but there's a problem. And then Boom Tomb shows up, and then here comes Darkseid.
All right.
You know, and then so yeah, it was supposed to be just like that type of cameo, but it was still would have been cool because you would have known Justice League 2, which was coming out next year, because that was the way that was supposed to work out.
Wait, it's coming out next year?
That's the way it was supposed to work out.
Oh, it's not happening now?
It's not working out that way anymore.
Oh, because they hate us?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
We would have seen Darkseid and Green Lantern next year.
Yeah, no, they're going to have to bring in a Lantern for Darkseid. That's you're not going to be able to do this with 6 people.
No. And even though Superman...
Actually, you could barely do it with 7.
True. And even though Superman and Batman have both killed Darkseid...
Right.
Yeah, when you first introduce Darkseid, they can't do that.
They've never seen this kind of person before.
Yeah.
He's not even from the universe. He's from the Fourth World, which, by the way, DC, good job actually giving Jack Kirby props in the credits.
Right?
Marvel. Get it together.
Yeah, Stan Lee didn't do everything, even though he says he did.
Right. Now here's the thing, Walter. We all know that what we saw in BVS in Batman's Dream or other Vision World thing, that was injustice.
Uh-huh.
I believe, in my heart of hearts, we're going to get injustice.
I don't. Joss Whedon's there.
No. Here's the thing. He was brought in as an emergency because of the tragedy that happened with Snyder. I think their overall goal is, even if it's just as part of Flashpoint or as a result of Flashpoint, I think we're going to get injustice.
I think it would be cool if they used Flashpoint to give us injustice, as opposed to... Now, don't get me wrong, I like the Flashpoint story,
right,
where the world is all jacked up. I don't like the point where Superman is, like this micro miniature guy who...
I think it's hilarious, and then he just takes off. But then they come back and they still form a league-ish kind of thing.
Yeah, where Superman murders like an entire army.
Okay, but the thing is, though, Walter, like, he didn't know what people were. He been kept in a cage his whole life. But I think what would be cool is if we get Injustice, and in Injustice Universe, instead of it being Batman, it's Flashpoint Batman, which is Jeffrey D. Morgan, which would be cool because, like, think about it. If you take an actual Bat and Jeffrey D. Morgan and they do the fusion dance, you get Batman. Get it, Lucille?
Uh-huh.
You see us doing that.
Okay.
So you get him, and then him and the Flash work together to bring over the League from League Universe over to fight Injustice Universe.
That would be cool, and way too much CGI, and I don't think, like, especially...
They can do it, Walter.
The budget for the Super movie, no, but for the Justice League, it ballooned up from like $175 to $300 million.
That was a budget for making it?
Yeah, because it was $175, and then they did all these reshoots.
Right.
So with all the reshoots and with all the
to be fair though, the reshoots they couldn't that was because of a tragedy though. Like that's.
Some of it was because of a tragedy.
You can't really hold that against them.
But some of it was just that they were like, okay, you know what? This is too Zack Snyder dark. We need to lighten it up a little bit.
Right.
And then between the reshoots and then the CGI and Cavill's face wrong.
But Jeff Johns is there now, Walter. Believe in the Johns.
But and he's the head of that division, but he still doesn't get the final say.
Walter.
And that, when we start making movies of our stuff...
Make sure...
Yeah. Our contract says final say. So if we say, look, no. That's how that works.
Okay, well, if we don't get Injustice, I really think we're going to get Blackest Night. I think we will get Blackest Night.
You'd like to have Blackest Night.
No, it's going to happen, Walter.
We're getting Flashpoint.
You don't ruin this. You do not ruin this for me.
We're getting Flashpoint.
Is,
but Injustice or Blackest Night, I don't know.
Anyways, the movie was good though. Aquaman was good. Not his powers. His powers still lame. But
his powers are awesome.
Jason Momoa was hilarious. I liked Cyborg, even though and it's cool that he felt like he didn't belong here, which he doesn't because he's a child. He's a literal child. I love how he thought he had the drop on Batman in Wonder Woman. Where he's like, why should I trust you? Like, if I wanted to kill you, I would have did it by the lake.
Uh-huh.
It's like you You a 6 foot tall black man made of metal. You think you gonna sneak him on Batman and Wonder Woman on Batman's land?
He thought so. He thought so.
He learned today though. You know, I thought it was good. Alfred was, you know, he's Alfred.
I think Barry was a little too over.
I don't like Barry. DC, you should just get Grant Gustin
and write him like the TV Flash, because this Flash, his social awkwardness is just a little too much.
He reminds me of Bart or Wally. He does not remind me of Barry.
He acts like Wally.
Yeah,
he does.
He's not Barry Allen, and Grant Gustin is probably the best version of Flash we're ever going to get for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they would not just. I mean, I know why they wouldn't, but they should have just paid him extra and make them agree to go back to the regular salary for the show.
I don't even think it was a salary thing. I think that it was more a cross universe thing. Because here's why. If you say that the Flash from the TV show is also the Flash from the movies, well, either you have to upgrade his TV show outfit, and then that's going to be the show he's going to be the outfit he's going to be using between movies and shows, or you're going to have to let him use the TV show outfit with those really cool movie outfits, and it wouldn't have fit.
Well, hey, look, I think it could have fit for one reason. This is new Flash with no resources, and then Batman could upgrade him.
Speaking of that,
it could be the same actor, but different Earth.
True.
So he's different over here than he is over there, but it's the same actor who I think Grant Gustin would have been able to pull that off.
I agree.
A whole lot better.
Speaking of that, before we go, okay, I always had this problem with the Spider-Man movies, with the exception of the last one. Spider-Man is broke.
And has that awesome suit.
Yeah.
And infinite webs.
Okay, that. Now, the Flash has this armor made up of the tiles from a space shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he get it?
he had to have stolen it.
Yeah, because I mean, Batman is sitting there. He's talking about. He's like, you know, got a Kevlar mesh and then the tiles from the space shuttle. And like, dude, okay, you didn't buy that,
right? But I do like the fact that Barry was totally in from the get go. He's like, stop right there, I'm in. Which is what anyone with powers would think. Like, yeah, Batman asked me to join a team, I'm in.
Yeah. Except for, but then it went one step too far. I need friends.
Right. And the brunch thing was weird. But, you know that was hilarious, though? They all refer to him as the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
They put that respect on his name.
Except for Superman, who calls him Bruce.
Yeah.
Even in his uniform.
Yeah.
And see,
but he calls him Clark, though. So
yeah. But see, that's another thing. Stop calling me by my name when I'm wearing this suit.
Like, hey, you may not have a life to protect, but I do. So, but I hope they go back to. I mean, I love their friends again. You know, and I want to see a scene like we saw at the end of the New 52 when Superman was dying, and Bruce tells him, Clark, it's been an honor to work with you, and Clark goes, it's been an honor to work with you too, Batman. Even in death, he still referred to him as Batman.
Yeah, but that's because Bruce actually is just Batman.
That's
his
real name is
Batman.
Yeah, like in Batman Beyond, where he's like, I don't call myself Bruce.
And see, I had this argument. Oh, and I know we're supposed to be signing off, but I had this argument with somebody about who would win between Light Yagami and Bruce Wayne, and Batman. I said Batman would lose. Batman would lose.
No,
he would lose. You want to know why?
Why? Because
his real name is Batman. And Light knows that.
Here's the thing, though. Batman...
And he knows what he looks like.
Batman would already know what how the Death Note works. And because Batman could do this, because he's Batman.
Convince himself that he's Bruce Wayne?
He would change who he thinks himself as. Also, Walter, if he thought of Batman's face, he's seeing the cow. For the Death Note to work, you have to have their face in your head.
But see, that's the thing.
But that's not his real face.
But Batman has said in his own comics, so it's canon, this is his face. That mask is his face.
But it's not how Batman sees himself.
It is. It's how Batman sees himself.
It's how I guess God, I guess it would be, but it's how the Death Note would see him.
We should have an entire episode on this.
On if Batman would die.
We should have an entire episode on this because we don't have time for this one right now.
Okay.
But I think we should. Batman versus Light Yagami.
I'm gonna send this out to all of my Death Note expert friends, and between Death Note experts here, please chime in down below. We'd like to have your opinions mentioned on whether or not Batman would lose to the Death Note based on the fact that he sees himself as Batman. That could be a really cool episode. So
yeah,
definitely
let's do that.
We're gonna try and do that. Also, stay tuned. We'll be doing an episode on The Punisher. Won't be doing on Runaways because somebody, Walter, hasn't seen it yet because he's lame. But we will do Punisher though. So until then, we've been your host, Kirby Kid.
And Black Superman.
See you later, guys.